Welcome to Yeshiva Daf. We're holding in Menachos Daf and Tes, starting on Mudaf on top of the Mishnah. Zog the Heilige Mishnah. Yesh teunois shemen v'levoino. There are menachos that require oil and require the spice called levoino. Frankincense? How do you translate in English?
Frankincense.
Frankincense. It's the oil and the levoino. Some is shemen v'lo levoino. Some is the oil, no levoino. Some is levoino v'lo shemen. And some is lo levoino v'lo shemen. So you have four types. Some require both, one, the other, or neither. The following require both, shemen and levoino. Minchas hasoiles, which is the mincha that comes with the korban. Ve'amachvas, the mincha comes in a pan. Griddle, pan, yeah.
As opposed to marcheshes.
Marcheshes, which is the pot, deeper one. Ve'achalois, these are the chalos that you bring in on Shabbos. Very kikim, which are also not Shabbos. Sorry, chalos in general. You bring chalos. Very kikim is wafers. That's someone who comes who donates the chalos or kikim. Donates, gives a donation to the Beis Hamikdash. A challah, you have to have it levoino, and you have to have a shemen. Someone gives to the Beis Hamikdash rikikim, he has to have levoino, has to have shemen.
I think the difference is that the chalas
or thicker, and the kicking is more or is more thinner.
Also, they put the oil on the top.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see the details a little later. Minchas koyanim, the mincha of a kohen. Minchas kohen Mashiach, that a kohen gadol brings. Minchas oivet kachavim, a goy. Minchas nashir, a mincha of a woman brings, and minchas hoimer. All these have to be with shemen and levoino. Minchas desachin to a shemen, vein to a levoino. When you have the mincha of, the first one I said was minchas hasoiles, is a mincha that's an adava of mincha. I said it wrong. Minchas desachin is the one who comes with the korban. Now you need a shemen and a levoino. Lechem apani that you have in Shabbos, ton levoino vein ton shemen. Shtei alecha minchas choyta, shtei alecha that you bring in shuas, minchas choyta, minchas kanois of a soita, and tonim lo shemen lo levoino. Right, so we have the whole list. Says the Gemara Mapapum, koleicho de tnan eser tnan. This is something we're going to see later again, like a rule. It says whenever it mentions the list of menachos, we mention 10. 10 what? So Rashi brings over here two explanations. Explanation number one is we're talking about 10 breads. Whenever you talk about a list, for example, someone is donating to Beis Hamikdash chalos. How many chalos are they? 10. He says rikiking. How many rikiking is giving? 10. It's always 10. It's coming to exclude the sheet of Rabbi Shimon. It says no, you could bring 5 chalos, 5 rikikim. So here, I told you no, it's always going to be 10. You don't bring half and half. That's one way to understand this Gemara. The other way to understand the Gemara is the list. How many items you have here in this list? So if you look at the Mishnah, you have minchas soiles, that's 1. Machvas is 2. Machesh is 3. Chalos is 4. Rikikim is 5. Minchas koyanim is 6. Minchas koyanim Mashiach is 7. Minchas oivet kachavim is 8. Minchas nashim is 9. Minchas hoimer is 10. You have 10 on the list. Now if you hold, you can bring half and half, you have an 11th one. Because you have chalos, you have rikikim, and you have half and half. So the fact that I said it's only 10 on the list, and not 11 is coming out of fukim in the sheet that you bring half and half. So that's the two ways to understand this Gemara, that you cannot bring, according to our Mishnah, half and half. So go to Rabbanan Benasato Oleo Shemen Veloy Alecha Aponim Shemen. You put shemen on it, meaning on minchas soiles, but you do not put on the minchas ha'omer. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. You put the oil on minchas ha'omer, and you do not put it on lecha aponim. I could say a limut, din. Ma minchas nesochim she'eino tuno levoino. A mincha that comes with the korban. You don't put spice. Tuno shemen, you have to put oil, lecha aponim, she'tuno levoino. We know lecha aponim that you do on every Shabbos. You have to bring a levoino because that's that krava. You bring 12 chalas and you have a levoino. Ain't no din sheton shemen. So of course you should need to have oil. So maybe lechaponim will require oil. Talmud loymar aleo shemen v'lo lechaponim shemen. You put oil only on the oimer, not on lechaponim. The samto aleo levoino. It says you put it in levoino. Aleo levoino v'lo ale minchas lesochim levoino. You don't put levoino on the mincha that comes with the korbanos. Sheichol v'lodino. Again, it could have learned if it comes with Uman lechaponim sheino ton shemen. Ton levoino. Lechaponim doesn't require oil. Does require levoino. Because the sochim shtuun shemen ain't no din shtuun levoino. So maybe that require levoino. Talmud loymar aleo levoino anoimer v'lo because the sochim levoino. That's what you learn from the pasuk. Minchol rabbis minchas shmini levoino. Tell you the mincha that came a year mishmini lemiluim when they build the mishkan also requires levoino. He lo itzi shtei alechem shlo yitonu lo shemen v'lo levoino. The word he is coming to take shtei alechem shvuos. It has no shem and no levain. That's the brayso. I think what comes and explains. Omar mar aleo shemen v'loy alecha aponim shemen. When it says aleo by the Menachos tells you put oil there, but you don't put oil on the lecha aponim. Someone who said Eimo aleo shemen v'loy Menachos kohanim shemen. Maybe it's coming to exclude Menachos kohanim. That because it goes kol leishi. Maybe there's no oil. So the more minchas kohanim avalei. When I come to answer, they come to minchas kohanim. Sheken, why? So we have your list. This is going to happen in the rest of the rest of the Talmud. Always list. Sheken isorin. They both are the size of the isorin. Right? They both come the size of the isorin. But lechem aponim is shnei isorin. Rashi brings kli, all the menachos. You need a kli to do lisho, but shtei alechem we saw before. You don't do a kli. Chutz, if you take it out, I mean if it's done outside, shtei alechem is done inside. The tzura, right? Tzura means that it's nifsal overnight. Mashein ken lechapanim, you leave it the whole week. Hagosho, you need to be magishit, connected next to mizbech. Lechaponim you don't. Ve'ishim, and you have a part that goes on the fire. Minchas kohanim goes totally on the fire. Minchas esakim, the kraymins goes on the fire. But lechaponim, no part of it goes on the fire. So lechaponim sheken tziburo is a korban tzibur, like the minchas hoimer, but not like kohanim, which is not a korban tzibur. Choivo is an obligation. Minchas kohanim is not a choivo. It's not a chayva because Menachos is every kohen can bring whatever he wants. Tamyo, the Menachos and the shtei and the lechaponim they come even betumo because be careful. Because right over here, and test it with the towards the bottom. Be careful with the camera. So what is it? Because it's because it's a korban tzibur. The achil, meaning what the achil, they're being eaten. Mashein minchas kohanim you don't eat. Pigula, there is pigul, because pigul, whenever you have something that goes on his back, the rest you have pigul. If everything goes on his back, there's no pigul. B'shabto, meaning they come on Shabbos, which is, Oimer comes even on Shabbos, the Chapore goes on Shabbos, Minchas kohanim doesn't. So why? So the Chuyah, that shall bring there. So the word mistabro nefesh. The word nefesh, it says Minchas kohanim, it says, b'mincha ksiv nefesh. It says a mincha by a regular individual, it says nefesh. Tell you, everyone who brings it on its own, or individual one, should be like that will bring oil. So when we have to come and choose, what should we compare it to Menachos? Will it be lechem aponim, or will it be Menachos kohanim? We say Menachos kohanim. Omamar. Alea levoino v'lo minchas esakim levoino. You bring levoino on minchas hoimer. You don't bring levoino on the mincha that comes with the korban. Amo, why do you say that? Maybe you should say alea levoino v'lo minchas kohanim levoino. The mincha of the kohen doesn't have levoino. Mistabro, again we have the list. Minchas kohanim v'lo minchas kohanim is more similar to minchas hoimer. Sheken, similar list we said before. At the beginning, the first one is the same. Isarin, they're both the size of an isarin. Masha'inken, minchas esochim, which is not. Because it depends on the sides of the carbon. Balul, you mix it with oil. Mashenken by Yechezkel. In other words, the mixture of the oil is proportionally the same. When you speak about the oil, you speak about Minchas Koyanim. But Minchas Nesachim, you have this 3 times the amount of oil. That's what Beluk. So that's what Beluk comes to tell you. The lug is 1 lug instead of 3 lugs. And what is the balul? You forgot it. That he brings over here on the side. The balul is no balul. Is it standing on its own or it's part of the baluk? Maybe baluk. Maybe it's together. You mix it with 1 lug instead of more lugs. Mugash have to be magish it to the hagosh to the mizbeach. Biglal, they come because something else. Because Minchas Nesachim, Minchas Nesachim goes to the carbon. Mashenken and Mincha v'Koyanim, Minchas Nesachim comes on its own. And Etzem, so Biglal Etzem means they're coming on their own. That's why it's similar to each other. So Minchas Nesachim Abdul Sheken Tziburo, Minchas Nesachim is the Tzibur, Chazayim is Tzibur, Koyanim is individual. Choyvet obligation, we said before. Itvi comes in Betumo. Veshabdi comes in Beshabis. Stabber Nefesh. The same answer that we learn Nefesh, you compare all the Menachos that come on their own, the same thing. And here it says Levaino. We saw the end of the Brisa that you learn the Mincha that came in Yom Shmini L'Miluim is also has a Levaino. Who says coming to add it? Maybe it's going to exclude it. So why am I? You know, Bishul the Rabbi, Shaf, the Rabbi understand where the pasuk has to tell me. Why should I think that Minchas Shmini should have anything similar to what happens to Doris? That's only a temporary thing. He, what says the word he? On Shavuos has no Shem and no Levoin. Maybe you should take away the Mincha of a Kohen. To be similar to the Oimer. Sheken is Soren. Again, it's a Soren because that's the size. Mashen Shtei Lechem is different size. Kli comes in the Kli. Shtei Lechem doesn't. Matzo because Shtei Lechem is Chometz. Mashen the other ones are Matzo. Ve'etzem they come on their own. The Mashen Shtei Lechem because they go to the Kvosim. Hagosh the magish to his berach. The ishi put in the fire. Shtei Lechem does not go in the fire. Other was something when the Tesla base. Shtei Lechem avle buye. Sheken tzibur is a common tzibur like the oimer, not like the koyanim. Choyev is obligation. Time you bring the tumo and the ochal you eat it. Mashayken by Minchas Koyanim you don't eat. Pigul there's a pigul because you have part that goes in his berach. Beshabti you bring even Mishabis. And you have a din, it's a matir, meaning Minchas Oimer and Shtei Lechem. They're both matir the Chodesh, Oimer in the Medina, Shtei Lechem in the Beis Hamikdash. Tenufa, you have to do Tenufa to pick it up. And Ba'aretz, you have to bring the Teruah, Shtei Lechem and the Oimer from Eretz Yisrael. And we have a din of Bizman, they have a specific date, Mashenki Koyanim, and Chodesh, they're all coming from the new Teruah. So all of this makes it similar. V'anak Lefisha is much more in that list. So when we stop with Nefesh, again, Nefesh tells you that all the individual Menachos have to be similar. They bring Shemen and they bring Levaino, and that's how we learn it. So it's all basically drushes and psukim, which Menachos have to have Shemen and Levaino, which one not. Just to mention that, so we have a Shemen and Levaino makes the carbon in a higher level, and we have to understand why some of the list have Shemen and Levaino, some does not. Very good. Says the Gemara. Says the Mishnah. What are we talking about? We're talking about someone who takes a minchas chayte, who's supposed to be with no shem and no levaino, and he puts a shemen and he puts a levaino. He's chayav for each one. He's chayav for the shemen. He's chayav for the levaino. No son of shemen, pastel. If you put shemen, it's over. It's pastel. Bring a new one. Levoino, but if you put levoino on the minchas chayte, you'll get that. Just pick it up and take it out. No such shemen al shirah. You put shemen on the leftover because you do the kamitza put it in his bath. The leftover put a shemen. Ain't no even below says. There's no way says. No say kli agabe kli loy posto. What is kli agabe kli? Meaning you put oil in one vessel and you put the menachos in another vessel and you have a kli mafrid b'nei. So even though they're connected in one kli, but there's a separation, so it's not a problem. So the Gemara Torah Rabbanon lo yasim alei shemen. Do not put in oil. Vim sam posel. If you did put in it, it becomes posel. Yechol lo yiter alei levoino vim nosam posel. Could be lo yiter means to put if you won't put levoino because posel. Talmud lo yimar ki chatos. Chatos, meaning that what? That it's the words ki chatos tell you, no, it's not going to be possible. So if you put levoino, it's not possible. Yechol b'shemen, maybe b'shemen is saying the same thing. Why the oil will be a problem and levoino not? If why it's fixable? Oil, once it mixes with the flour, you can't take it out. But levoino, you can pick it up. It's a spice. There's a very interesting thing over here. We're going to be able to shemach in this in the shor machshava on the daf. And go into it enough that you see over here that the drasha, after we machriach it, comes out that when it says lo yasim aleo shemen, means that if you put in it, it's over. When it says lo yitin aleo levoino, means don't put it temporarily, but you can take it out, right? So sima means don't like the you just put the shemen, you ruined it. Lo yiten means put it in now and then take it out. So the question is simo and nesino seem to be two different lashonis. That's what I want to bring over here. We'll see also maybe a little later more about that. But they want to bring a nikuda that says by the Torah, the Moshe Rabbeinu puts the Moshe Rabbeinu put the Torah simo b'fiyim. Should have sama. So what does siva mean? Does siva mean a permanent or temporary? So how does that fit siva b'fiyim with the siva that we have over here? Okay. Says the Gemara. Nasan aleo levoino shchuko ma. What happens? He put in a very grinded levoino, not big pieces of levoino. Grind. Mishum de efshel elokto v'alo efshel elokto. There it's because you could pick it up, and here you can't pick it up, meaning it's grinded. Or maybe the reason is not because you can pick it up, even though we said that lashon, but as we're going to say in a moment, but because it's not swallowed. The oil gets absorbed in the flour. The levoino doesn't. So even though it's very small and very hard to sift it, but still you can still differentiate it. Say what Toshma for levoino katan. Look at our Mishnah. So levoino you pick it up. Mashma you can pick it up. Dilmo chad levoid kamar. It means chad levoid. First maybe means 1 plus 1. You know where levoino is good. You can't. It's not swallowed. For oil katan in addition, it's very easy to take it out. But even if you didn't take it out, it's also okay. Toshma, machsheni b'levoinu shefshal elokto. Says that machshel levoinu because we said before in the brayso you could be like it. Hochanami chad levoid kamar. Meaning, really the main thing is not absorbed, but also you can take it out. But what happens if you can't take it out? Still, the main reason is because it is not absorbed. Second one, maya ve'alos what l'maiseh. If you have one of the menachos, they put it in levoino. Milakot is a levoino v'ksheru. You pick it up. So if before you took it to levoino, you had the wrong mindset. Either chutzes mana or chutzes mekoimo. Possible they ain't course. Why? Because right now it's temporary. This it's not kosher for now. When you have something which is not kosher, even though it's only temporary, not kosher, you can't have machsheres pickle. Machsheres pickle is only something which is kosher. Right now you have a levoino over here, so the pickle does not become kars. It becomes pasul, but no kars. But if you took it to the levoino and then you had a machshava, chutz mekoyim pasul and kars like any other chutz mekoyim. Chutz mana pickle v'chavim kars. Meaning now pickle works. So the Gemara is just pointing out, this Bryce is pointing out that the levoino is only a temporary problem. If I have a mincha and I put levoino on the minchas choitem. Say minchas choitem not supposed to have a levoino. You put it in a levoino, does it becomes possible temporarily until you take out the levoino. But if in the meantime pickle doesn't not have cars, it just becomes possible. One thing you see over here arriving in the Brisa, so you must remove the Levaina. Close mind, you now remove the Levaina, it's possible. Says the Gemara, "V'tihave pach." What does "v'tihave pach"? That's the use the Rashi has. Meaning, you're saying when the Levaina is on it, so then it's not kosher. Machshas Pigul is possible, but not kars. So well, why? When the Levaina is there, it will be as if there was oil on it. That should be no machshava, should not be mechalon at all. Why are you saying it's paisel? Makes it possible. It's not be paisel. Should just be unavailable. Why should machshava should be nitche? Should be considered to be pushed away? Tais has a different gear so here. Tais says the gear say is vadichuyu. When was asking, how can it come back? You take the levaina away, it's okay. But it was temporary, not good. So it became nitche. What?
Not everybody holds with it.
Okay. So Rabbi says it's called chatas. It has a special example. It's called the chatas even when you have levaina. That's why it's still not completely dichui. According to today's question, according to Rashi, that's why psul does work there. That's where Rabbi Harry said it's over here. Meaning we're going to this bandam and there's no dochi.
What do you have named Chanan Mitzvah?
This.
No, Mitzvah.
Why is it called Chanan Mitzvah? He came from Egypt. Yeah?
That's a yichus.
I don't know.
I would say
The Tanya, good child.
just call him Chanan.
Yeah, here. The Tanya Chanan Mitzvah Omer Filadam Bekois Bibi Chaver Shlo Ba'Agol Mizaveg Loy. So Chanan Mitzvah is talking about Yom Kippur for near Loy Inyan of Tchoim. If you had 2 Seirim and one of the Seirim you died, so he says the other one is a nitche or not. So there's a mandama that says if it's alive, it's not nitche, because ein ba'alechayim nitchim. But if it's shechted, so it became possible, you can't bring it back. You have to take 2 new animals. Chanan Mitzvah says, no, I don't care. Even if the blood is already in the kais, already shechted it, it's not considered to be pushed away, because it doesn't hold chuyim. No, the answer is, we saw the Masechah Zvachim as well, it's biyadlich. It's very easy to fix it. Just take out the levaina. Whatever's in your hand is not dochi. Bring you right to that. The man Shama said who's the one that says dochu is a problem? Rebidi. It's a budo. The non voidim of budo shpachadam. If the blood spills, yomud the mishtarech. So the mishtarech needs to be thrown away. Mesa mishtarech shopachadam. In other words, once one of them is out, the other one is as well out because it's dochu. Because temporarily you can't use it, so it's dochu. If it's something that you can fix. Right? Meaning what? What did he say? He said when they had many psachim, the shach psachim, there's a chashash to maybe one of the blood spilled from the kli on the floor. So we have a solution. Take blood from the floor, put it on the mizbeach, and you fixed everything. What do you mean? Temporarily it wasn't good. It's biyadai. It's not dichui. One more part over here in the Gemara. Have a little bit of oil on a lot of mincha pasul. My taimo lo yosim sima koldo. This is the drasha. So that's what I mentioned before. Sima is even a small sima, even something. You now put any oil. Aleo de kashira, but it has to be a full mincha. It has to be at least kazais. If you put a little bit of oil on less than kazais, it's not a problem. It has to be kazais mincha. Even a drop of oil is a problem. The opposite. If the levoino is a kazais and the mincha is even one little piece, possible. My time is sino. Sino means a full kazais, a full piece. Aleo, and then what's the leo? What do you mean? Because we already said the pasuk says lo yitin aleo. What's the lashon pasuk? Lo yosim aleo shemen. Why do I have to say aleo again? Lo yasim aleo means it. Lo yitin levoino. Why it's aleo again? Says the Gemara that Samachem with Aleph. Have a ribrach lemahit. The ribui says even the smallest amount, but you have a double ribui. Tell you no. It has to be at least. It has to be. It has to be. The first aleo means it has to be kazais. It says aleo second time to tell you don't have to have kazais. So by the shemen has to be on a kazais because that's the first aleo. But the levoino doesn't have to be a kazais because it says a double aleo. He asks the question. No, so mashu shemen, a little bit of shemen, will be kazais min chamal. Mi be'inan simo kenesino loy teko. Do you have to say that the oil will be like the levoin or not? The Gemara says teko. So what is Gemara saying? Nesino means a big nesino. Simo means koldu. Aleo means a big piece. A double aleo tells you even a small piece. So by shemen it says simo, which is something, aleo, a big piece. So it be even a drop of oil on at least kazais. On levoin it says nesino, has to be kazais. Aleo, the second time, till even small. The Gemara says maybe a little shemen from oil. So here's why we mentioned before that the word simo is even something. Nesino is something which is chashuv. So they asked the Mepharshim, but it says, "Betoiro simo b'feim." Simo does it mean something small? So I forgot who says it. I forgot who says it. I didn't finish preparing it. He says yes, because it says "Betoiro hatoif enecha boi ve'enenu." If you don't chazer, it's lost. Torah, if you don't, it's a sira koldu. The Torah is on you momentarily. If you don't catch on to it, it's going to be lost. The Be'ez Hashem, we should always remember the Torah. Shakray everybody, and this is where we end.